1 number 1. Clifton promise accepted. 2 through the Jock Pagets.
Now here is the rising star. In fact, he's virtually here. It is Jock Paget, the outstanding young jockey from New Zealand, based in this country. And this the horse that he's risen right to the top of the world rankings. And again, part of that bronze medal team for New Zealand in London. It's his Clifton Promise, owned by France's Stead, a very good owner for Jock Paget. He's on course. Well, we're with Jock Paget and Clifton Promise at the quarry. This is where contenders for the title here at the Mitsubishi Motors Badminton is now really on the line. Jock Paget comes to his second horse on 39.7, and that is good enough for fourth place. That was after dressage. It would put him in the lead if he stays there.
Jock Paget at the lake with Clifton Promise. Good jump in. Gets the 5. And it's extraordinary when you see the horses jumping that combination in the middle of the lake and they put in a stride. It's extraordinary that the horses can take one out and bounce that as well. They're incredibly versatile.
I think he's got a fantastic chance, and you know, always makes the horses look really happy on the cross country.
Well, I was saying earlier, Zara, Jock is certainly not only one of the nicest men on the circuit, or great character, great competitor, but he's also technically one of the best young riders we've seen for a very long time. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. He's, you know, such a nice rider to watch, which is, you know, that's what I meant about, you know, the horses having a nice time when he rides them, which is very important.
This is the horse that has taken him right to the very top, and that first really became prominent in the World Equestrian Games. Finished at 7th there and part of the bronze medal team.
Yeah, these two are a great combination, and you always love to watch them.
He may be the oldest rider here, but you wouldn't know it when you see him going cross country so effortlessly.
Moved from New Zealand to Australia, and then when they had equine influenza in Australia, couldn't get his horses around, so he moved back to New Zealand, met Francis Stead, and they of course have gone on and on and on.
Let's take a real long one over the second of those brushes, the Mirage Pond.
New Zealand's Jock Paget, Clifton Promise, taking quite a hold of the big Outlander bank.
Yeah, and we just saw him before on the approach there. Wow, an enormous jump through that owl. Just on the approach there, Jock having a quick check of his watch, just making sure he's up on time. That was a brilliant jump there. But almost the bigger the jump, the more impressive the jump, the more the horses are punished, because they land right at the bottom of that steep bank. But it hasn't upset the horse. Just skips over the beam as it gallops up to the hollow.
Looking really good. Tina clears the last and pushes
Wasting not a
home.
second on this course. This is a little argumentative at times. Jock practicing his dressage there, doing flying changes on the cross-country course.
But don't they look easy?
Don't they just?
Now the staircase for Clifton Promise. Here is another sequence of fences that's caused some disappointments for some. Oh, it's a big jump up. What a quick reaction over that second step. Absolutely cat-like. And this combination are really working as a great team. That's Clifton Promise and Jock Paget coming down to keeper's brush. Jock Paget, it's another young Mark Todd in the making, surely. And he could go into the lead. But of course, Jung is out on the course. Got to get home inside that 11 minutes 13, that clock counting down.
Yeah, well, he's still got to jump the fences, but he's being as quick as he can, and as soon as he's over the Rolex fence, he accelerates away. 24 seconds. It's going to be close, but I do think this is another one inside the time.
The Clifton prefix, one of France's Stead, who has provided these good horses for this man's talents, now based in Paris, and she'll be jumping up and down. He turns inside. Is he another one who's just misjudged it? Quick check on the watch. You can't do that, Jock. Oh, 1 second inside, and he is the new leader. There's a real battle on between Germany and New Zealand at the moment.
So, Jonathan, still in a very strong position ahead of tomorrow. How was the cross-country course this time?
It was a little bit different this time. The sun changed things a little bit. There's a little bit of a glare going into the lake, which wasn't there this morning. The Huntsman's Close is a little darker as well because it's bright on the outside. But other than that, I'm grateful to have another great horse to ride around this morning to help set me up for the horse that was better placed after the dressage.
Yeah, certainly make it look easier when you've got two rides and they both go so well.
Yeah, it's nice, and luckily for me, I'm on two very good gallopers and jumpers, and full thoroughbreds, New Zealand thoroughbreds. They know their job.
How does this horse fare with the show jumping? Is he careful?
He is careful. I've never finished on my dressage at a 3-day on him yet, but he is very careful. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he jumped clear, but you never know.
Well, fingers crossed for that. What will you do this evening to prepare yourself and look after the horses?
Well, we'll take the horses back and ice them and have a good look over them. The physio will come and have a look at them. We'll trot them. If all is good, we'll just graze them and let them have an easy night. If there's work to be done, then we'll do the work.
Good luck tomorrow. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Relax now.
The arena. The second ride, Jonathan Paget from New Zealand with Francis Stead's and Jonathan Paget's Clifton Promise. Fourth after dressage on 39.7. 1 second inside the optimum time yesterday. They lie second. And they can't afford to have a fence down if they want to maintain second place. Jonathan Paget and Clifton Promise from New Zealand.
This man, still young in years, but great in talent, and they really have got a great partnership.
Yeah, just to be in the same breath as some of these top riders, experienced top riders, Jock Paget must be very happy to be there.
Yes, and one of the things that New Zealand have done, have taken on Luis Severa, the world-class Spanish international show jumping rider, great coach, and he's done wonders for the Kiwis, and he'll be watching somewhere out there. He is a really good man. The New Zealanders now have got a management second to none.
But he hasn't Hasn't got many to go. The horses, dare I say, giving him a lot.
Remember, this man or the next man can spoil the Grand Slam party. One left. He'll be putting the pressure on Michael Jung. It is. He's never won here. 39.7. Jock Paget and Clifton Promise go on to 39.7, their dressage score, and they now become the challengers to Michael Jung.
In second place. So that means that Andrew Nicholson's chance of the Grand Slam.
So, Claire down in the collecting. I bet it's warming up down there.
Do you know, it's absolutely silent down here, so quiet and far away from the noise of the arena. Michael Jung has just been putting Sam through his final practice fences, and he knows that he could become the first German ever to win badminton and complete an unprecedented set of titles. He is, without doubt, the most successful rider in the world at this moment in time. European, world and Olympic champion. Could he now win badminton? If he jumps clear, he will.
On the left, the baseball cap of Michael's dad, Joachim. He is the trainer, very focused. Although he is very much a German team man, they train very much on their own. They know what's got to be done, and they certainly have done it in their short career in the sport. Remember, he is the only man ever to win, or indeed, lady, to win the Olympic, the World and the European, to hold them all at the same time. So there's the target, 39.7, which means Michael Jung has got to jump clear. And he is a man who can certainly soak up the pressure. Every blade of grass that this man and Sam covers in the next 86, 85 seconds, they will have planned. That's the detail they go down to. Clear round, and he becomes, as Claire says, the first German to win the Mitsubishi Motors badminton title.
Well, I think the claim is that Sam's never had a pole down, but he did at London have a good rub in the first round, so anything is possible, but there'll be, as you say, nothing left to chance in the preparation for this. And Michael has done so much Grand Prix show jumping. The size of the fences are nothing to him, but it's all a question of how much did yesterday's cross-country take out of Sam.
And Ian, for all those watching with us and around, we are watching a man that is changing the sport, raising the bar just in a super way. He is such class.
Well, he's won all these championships. If he wins here and he's only 30 years of age, where does he go next?
Well, he could do dressage, he could do show jumping, but he loves this sport. Down the final line. Just the last. Hardly touched a fence. And he's done. No! It's gone! It's gone! The very last fence. And Chris Bartle is just alongside, talking to Michael's mum, and she can hardly believe it. And it's Jock Paget that is the badminton winner for 2013. And the Olympic champion has been beaten in the very last fence that he jumps. Quite a surprise. And there is the winner. The young man from New Zealand, Jock Paget and Clifton Promise.
The New Zealanders celebrate delayed reaction here because that last fence took so long to fall, and Jock Paget had no idea. He heard the cheer, then the gasp, and then everybody crowded round him and said, "Well done, you have won badminton."
I have. I need a little bit of time to come to grips with it. I think there's something else.
Your first time here, when you came into the competition, what were you expecting?
I I didn't think I would win, but I thought I could win. Thank you, Mr. Young.
And Michael Jung comes to offer his congratulations. Michael, such a shame for you, because honestly you were jumping to perfection and it took so long to fall that pole.
Yeah, it was a very good round and I'm very happy about my horse. I think I was a little bit too much forward. I need a little bit more control, but he jumped well and I'm very happy about my first time here. Thank you.
Well, it was a very good debut for Michael Jung, but an even better one for Jock Paget, who's a year younger than Michael. He's only 29. He's receiving hugs all round. He was barely able to say anything. He says it's going to have to take a while to sink in. But as we confirm the result, Jock Paget is our winner of the Mitsubishi Motors Trophy. Second is Michael Jung, and in third place, Andrew Nicholson. An incredibly thrilling finale to this extraordinary three-day event.
You know, tell me what happened in there. What was the pressure like?
Well, I was in second, so I didn't have as much pressure as Michael. I made a mistake at Poe when I was in the lead going into the show jumping, and I just focused on one fence at a time, and each fence he jumped clear, so it was a good day, and he was fast too.
You're really calm. Has it sunk in yet?
No, not yet. I think I'll need a week for this one.
So what will you do now? How are you going to celebrate, Jonathan?
Well, I've got a competition in 2 days, so I can't celebrate too much. I will go and give the horse a big pat and make sure he's feeling good and put him away, and then maybe next week have a dinner with everyone involved.
You've reigned on the Rolex Grand Slam parade quite nicely, and you didn't even mention that earlier in the week.
No, I mean, for sure I wanted Andrew to win the Rolex Grand Slam, but I did come here to win, and if I didn't win, I wanted to see Andrew win. But I mean, it's just this weekend was a good weekend for me.
It certainly was. Massive congratulations, Jonathan. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, thanks very much.
For 2013 is Francis Stead's Clifton Promise, written by Jonathan Paget for New Zealand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cornwall, to come and make the presentations. And she is accompanied by the Duchess of Beaufort and the Director of Badminton Horse Trials, Hugh Thomas. And also with them, the Managing Director of Mitsubishi Motors, Lawrence Bradley. Lance. So the winner of the Mitsubishi Motors Trophy, Jonathan Paget, with Francis Stead's Clifton Promise. So one by one these New Zealanders come here and take these trophies. Andrew Nicholson sitting there in third place has never quite held that trophy, but he's not going to give up again, I know. And now the Mark Holiday Memorial Trophy, which goes to the groom of the winner of Jonathan Paget's Clifton Promise anchor. And ladies and gentlemen, let's have a real round of applause, a real big one for all the groups. These horses are fantastic. The winner of the Mitsubishi Rankings Trophy for 2013, Clifton Promise, Jonathan Paget. Second, Michael Jung, Biosthetique Sam. Third, Andrew Nicholson in the rail. Fourth, Sam Alfalfa up the mover. Fifth, William Ross, big partner in here. Sixth, Stephen Alfalfa, and five members in Controller. In seventh place, Victoria Carlson with Manafini. Eighth, in the car, and that's a good save. Ninth, Jock Paget, and that's the big man. Tenth, is Mr. Mark Todd, and Mark Todd. 11th, Andrew Nicholson, and David Mead. 12th, the next round from Canada, that's the top 12. Let's go again for the top three. Clifton Promise, Jonathan Paget, Biosthetique Sam, Michael Jung, and third, Andrew Nicholson in the rail.
New Zealander Jock Paget, Clifton Promise. It's amazing to think this man has only been riding for the last 10 or 11 years and he's already a world star. Take a very confident look at the watch and he's going to creep home. The first one to get 2 inside the time. That is quite an achievement at your first badminton. This young man, 29-year-old Jock Paget, has won badminton in his very, very first attempt. Tremendous performance.
New Zealand has a new equestrian superstar after Jock Paget won the badminton horse trials overnight. In doing so, he denied teammate Andrew Nicholson the chance to win his second Grand Slam.
Well, Europe correspondent Garth Bray's in Gloucestershire. He was at Badminton for the event. He asked Jock what it was like when he heard the crowd start cheering.
When Michael had the rail down, well, it sounded like he jumped clear because they all started cheering. And then they changed their tone and I thought, well, I think he had it down. I think I won. And I feel the same now as I did then, and it's a little bit a little bit shocking. It's just a bit weird, but very good.
What about that moment when they play the anthem?
Oh, that's a good moment. That's kind of the one moment that you get a chance to sit there by yourself and think that just won badminton. It's a good moment.
What has it taken to get here?
Work. It's taken a lot of hard work, and I've been around some great people. I've had Kevin McNabb and Eric DeVander, who have been helping me as coaches the whole time, and then since I got over here, I've been working. I've had a very good and close relationship with Andrew Nicholson and Mark Todd, and those guys have been pushing me and helping me for the last couple of years, and that's made a huge difference. And just recently I went and trained with Michael Jung, and again another step up for me. I come away from there feeling like I'd gone up another step, and I think the most important thing is that the work and being around the right people.
How does that work though? I mean, you're working with the people that you then compete against. In this case, the man you've just taken the title from, two of them really. Yeah. How does that work?
It's that sort of sport, we all help each other, we all want to see each other do well, we all try to beat each other, and we all understand that's the game, and that's what we do. And and that's a part of the sport. In this sport, it is very difficult to survive and get to each event, and without, I have amazing sponsors to help me and supporters to get me through, and without them you don't do it, and without these guys helping me at the events, and you can't do it. So it really is a massive amount of people that help you.
Is it fair to chart some of the success of this back to, I guess, some of the consolidation you got with being part of the Olympic team and the effort that's gone into some of the high performance sport stuff as well, or is that's just a small part of it?
Without Francis Steed and Clifton eventers giving me these horses, I wouldn't be here. Without Anna Cap helping me to stay afloat, I wouldn't be here. Without New Zealand Federation, what they put in is incredible. Without all these things, it's impossible. Without the team I have at home to do the job every day and support you, and they really do a thankless job, and they do it every day, and they do long hours, and they work very hard, and it's pretty amazing when you think about what it is required to get to these big events, and then to be competitive at these big events. And it's such a team effort.
You're the second person who's won badminton on debut. First one was Mark Todd in 1980. Does it feel like you are the new generation, really?
I'd like to think so. He's a legend, and I've been privileged enough to be able to ride with him and be trained by him, and to come to these events. And Mark won it last year again as well, and it's got to sink in still too, but it is. I'm very fortunate to be in the situation I am with supporters, friends, and coaches, and it's the right place.
And surrounded now by people who all want to talk to you. We'll let you go. Thank you very much, Jock Paget, and congratulations.
New Zealand rider Jock Paget has won the prestigious badminton horse trials in England in his first time competing there. The former bricklayer rode a clear show jumping round on Clifton Promise, knocking fellow Kiwi Andrew Nicholson out of the running. Our Europe correspondent Garth Bray reports.
This is the face of a winner. The moment victory at badminton dawns on Jock Paget.
Biosthetique Sam starts a new ground.
As the German Olympic and European champion Michael Jung shanks it at the very last possible moment to drop behind the young New Zealander after his impeccable jumping round.
And I heard the crowd cheer, and I thought, well, he was the champion, he deserves it. And then I heard the and I thought, I just won.
His ride on Clifton Promise looked fluid. The backer he shares ownership with records Promise was never closer than 6 inches to a pole. A clear round from Andrew Nicholson moved him past William Fox-Pitt to third. A podium finish not the payday he hoped for, but the man with 33 completions now at badminton will be back and doesn't regret helping so many riders, including the one who surpassed him today.
They come as working pupils, and Jock, he came for a few weeks, and look at him now he's beaten me. He obviously didn't have the same game plan as I gave the others.
Jock Paget also trained with Michael Jung over winter, of all things taking tips on show jumping.
Winning badminton is probably everyone's dream who rides eventing. I just come here this weekend knowing that I could win, but I never thought I would win.
37 of the world's top 100 equestrians were here at Badminton, which makes Jock Paget's win on debut even more remarkable. Jock Paget is now the second debutant to win at Badminton. He's playing the same song that lauded the first, Mark Todd, in 1980. A new generation of winners has arrived in this sport. It still wears a silver fern. Garth Gray, One News, Badminton.
There's a new poster boy among our equestrian elite. Jock Paget's become just the second rider to win the prestigious Badminton three-day event on debut, matching Sir Mark Todd's victory back in 1980. Paul Hobbs has more.
When one man's misfortune is another man's triumph, Jock Paget snatches Badminton in the most dramatic fashion.
I heard the "ah" and I thought, shit, I think I just won.
It's a wonder New Zealand didn't hear us this morning when that rail went down.
In Australia overnight, Jock Paget's father was glued to his son's progress.
Proud, absolutely. Really, got emotional, tears in the eyes. The whole body just shakes, It was just, absolutely fantastic.
Feelings matched on this side of the Tasman.
We're so proud of him, and I just can't, we're excited. As you can tell, we're beside ourselves.
Paget was born in Wellsford and moved to Australia when he was 3. An apprentice bricklayer, he didn't climb on a horse until he was 18. His dad's rodeo horse. It ended badly.
Snapped a ligament in my shoulder, which is probably my worst ever injury, actually.
But since taking up eventing, he's been a quick learner.
I've had a very good and close relationship with Andrew Nicholson and Mark Todd, and those guys have been pushing me and helping me for the last couple of years, and that's made a huge difference.
Paget followed up a 7th at the 2010 World Equestrian Games with top performances at Burleigh, and he was part of our Olympic bronze medal winning team in London.
Jock's been a key part of our programme. He's ranked number 4 in the world, so this isn't a shock to see him come up like this.
Cheers to Jock. The sport couldn't be in better shape.
For Jock, this is a real crowning moment. In some ways, I guess the future arrived today.
And the hope for gold at the next Olympics. Paul Hobbs, One News.
Jock Paget, a former bricklayer from Wellsford, has become only the second rider ever to win the Badminton horse trials at the first attempt. The other one was Sir Mark Todd. So not bad for a lad who started off riding rodeos. Jane Luscombe reports.
39.7. Jock Paget will finish no lower than second.
Jock Paget had done everything he could. His rival, Michael Jung, needed a clear round to win.
He's ranked 6th in the classics.
Paget couldn't bear to watch.
He can't afford a pole. Does it look like he's going to have one? Michael Jung, La Biosthetique Sam, starts a new ground. Oh! Ho, ho!
The shouts went up. Paget uncertain. Then this.
Jock Paget is the winner of Badminton. It was the first time I was going to win.
What Paget couldn't see, Jung had clipped the very last rail.
Oh, ho, ho! The Kiwis are just unbeatable at the moment.
I heard the crowd cheer and I thought, well, he's the champion, he deserves it. And then I heard the "ah" and I thought, shit, I think I just won.
Wellsford's new champion began his working life as a horse on a very different course.
I just finished my apprenticeship as a bricklayer, and I thought it was a good time to, do something different before I go down a path of laying bricks for 20 years.
In fact, he was bucked off the first time he got on a horse, but at rodeo school he learned to stay on.
He's a gutsy, bloody strong young fella, grit and determination, I suppose. He doesn't show it on his face at all, but you can sort of see it when he means business.
Summer Phillips says it's the same when he's training young riders like her. He's inspiring but tough.
If you broke your leg, you'd still be riding. He doesn't really let you relax at any time, and I think that's really good, especially when you're doing a sport like this.
Though he knows how to relax with his cousins.
He's a bit of a hard case, actually. He's the sort of kid, when we were kids, he would write loser on our head in permanent marker. He's a very funny guy.
For many in the eventing world, badminton is bigger than the Olympics. Jock Paget's achievement at his first attempt has ensured his name in the history books. Jane Luscombe, 3 News.
Welcome back. Leading 3 sport, equestrian Jock Paget is already eyeing up what's next after writing a new chapter in New Zealand's proud 3-day eventing history with his breakthrough win at Badminton. As reported earlier on 3 News, Paget and his mount Clifton Promise produced a clear show jumping round. And then, as Tony Wright explains, he had a nervous wait.
With his day's work completed on board Clifton Promise, current leader Jock Paget couldn't quite put his feet up as Germany's Michael Jung rounded the hushed arena.
I think he's phenomenal, and I think it's easy to make it look good when everything's going right. But
a clear round would see the Olympic champion claim the title, something even the commentator was certain he'd achieve.
He can't afford a pole. Does it look like he's going to have one? Not to my mind. Michael Jung, Biosthetique Sam starts a new ground. Oh! Ho, ho!
I wasn't looking, I was hanging out with the horse, and I heard them say he's coming down to the last line, and you know, I've spent time with Michael. He's such a perfectionist, and you know, when he gets to the last fence, you never expect him to have it down, and I heard the crowd cheer, and I thought, well, he's the champion, he deserves it. And then I heard the "oh," and I thought, shit, I think I just won.
Jock Paget is the winner of badminton.
Paget, a badminton winner on his first attempt, was backed by the only other rider to have achieved the feat.
I've had my money on Jock all week. I think he was about ready for one. As you say, it's a shame for Andrew. I told him he didn't pay him enough to have a fence down.
And while Grand Slam hunter Andrew Nicholson missed out on a big payday, he still went clear on board Nareo to finish third.
And I was just pleased that I could play my part, you know, to the end. You know, which it would have been nice to win the extra $350,000, but I didn't have it to start with, so I haven't lost it, have I?
It's a career-defining win for Paget. The 29-year-old's former life as a bricklayer well and truly behind him.
This was only the first target for the year. I still have a few other targets. You know, there's the World Championships next year, and then there's the following Olympics. So laying bricks now will be something, you know, for the last few years, it's only going to be something that I do for myself or, you know, for a friend if they need a job done. I don't plan to lay bricks again, but hey, you never know what happens.
Paget now stacks eventing's greatest title next to his Olympic bronze medal. The world #4 now seeking a golden one in Rio. Tony Wright, 3 News.